everybody. Welcome back to another episode of High On Feminism. This season is season 5, and we have been hanging out in Barcelona, Spain, where I have officially moved. I'm at this new amazing women's club called Juno House, and every single person on this season is a member of Juno. So today, I'm very excited about this. I have some things I want to talk to you about. I've already thought about it. Today, I'm being joined by Mariana Arrieta. She is an amazing photographer. She's doing, what did you say? From the darkroom to the microphone, right? So we're going to find out what that means in this episode. Welcome, Mariana.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited. Well, my name is Mariana Arrieta. I'm 32 years old. I don't know if the age was...
No, we love to know.
But I mean, I like it. I'm from
Embrace
Mexico. Yeah, I'm from Mexico. Half Spanish, well, Basque. And I've been living here in Barcelona for about 3 years and a half.
Yes.
Yeah, with my husband and my 2 dogs.
Amazing. Yeah. And how are you liking it so far?
I love it. I came here for the first time in my Erasmus 11 years ago, and I fell in love with Barcelona, and I knew I wanted to live here.
Yeah.
So now it's been 3 years. So
and you came from Mexico, right?
Yeah, I came from Querétaro.
Okay, which is right by Mexico City. Yeah. I just learned that. I didn't know that before. I've only been to Playa del Carmen.
Oh, amazing, right?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
So nice.
My friend and I, oddly enough, won a free trip.
Wow.
To Playa del Carmen to this resort for 4 days.
That's so nice.
It was airfare, everything was paid for. Wow. It was wild. I don't know how we did it. I know. I don't know how we did it, but we did it. So you're a photographer. Yeah. How did you originally get into photography? What was your first photo you feel like you ever really took?
I've thought about this, the first question, but I've never remembered because photography has always been in my life. Mm-hmm. My grandfather and my father were photographers, just as a hobby, on the sidelines.
Okay.
So I'm used to having all my childhood, all my parents' childhood has been documented. So all my life's been documented.
I love that.
And my dad and I it would be the thing that unified us so much. That just photography all the time. And I remember when I was younger that he would just speak all the time about photography. And I was like,
why are you doing this? Yeah.
And then when I grew up, when I got into photography, I understood. He was teaching me all of those years. So I think it has been... I've started to look at photos from when I was younger, and I've had a camera since a long, long time ago, very, very young. Yeah. But getting professionally into it would be 11 years.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
That is a good chunk of time. Yeah. Did you go to school for it? Or are you more a on the fly, learning in the moment?
Well, at first, I didn't go to school for it, but then I always had this chip that you needed to have the paper to validate what you were doing. So then in 2019, I think it was, I studied it's not an official university degree in Mexico, but it's I don't know the name, but it's
sort of a community college.
A little bit like that. And I did the photography. Yeah, the degree.
Yeah.
It would be. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I actually almost went to photography school as well. There's a school in, was it Connecticut or Rhode Island? I can't remember. But I just loved taking photos. I was the kid in 4th grade that my mom would give me, the old Kodak, with the film in it. Yeah. And she used to get so upset because it was so expensive to develop the film. And she'd get my photos back and it would be a wall, a tree,
everything.
And she's like, these are supposed to be for your friends. And I was like, but I'm taking nature.
It's art, Mom.
That was me. Yeah. And so I always wanted to be a photographer, and I wanted to do it, especially with fashion at first, and that's where I was watching a lot of America's Next Top Model by the time. We're about the same age.
I love that. Yeah.
And I loved it, and I think there's something so therapeutic about photography. What is one of your favorite things about capturing someone's photo? I love talking to photographers about this because I know they have a really deep, insightful
maybe it's something not that deep.
Maybe.
The type of photography that I like to do, it's mostly documentary and street photography. So I think, and I've thought about this because of therapy. Because
love therapy.
That it's my way to understand the world. Like, it really is. Like, I remember traveling with my dad and my mom and just people watching. My dad and I would sit and just people watch.
Yeah.
So I think it's always been like sociology, anthropology for me.
Yes, I'm a sociologist at heart too.
Yeah, see? There's a thing. Yeah, that's why we met.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like it just helps me understand, because sometimes the world is so complicated and so confusing, which when you're younger you don't see, but when you're older you're like,
wow, this world is fucked up.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
So I think it really is my way of trying to understand, and I have my camera every day, all the time. Like my job is being outside.
Yeah.
Which sometimes when I don't go outside, I can feel it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the walls are caving in.
Yes, cabin fever.
Yeah, I've never heard that, cabin fever.
Yes, it's something in the States. I think it's more so, I'm from Vermont, which is like up by the Canadian border. So, it's very cold up there. So there are points of time where you're always inside because it's like way too cold to go outside. So it's like you're in a cozy cabin, but you're getting cabin fever because you haven't gone outside.
Well, that's what I have here. Flat fever.
Yeah, right? Barcelona fever.
Yeah, exactly. And with the heat, I mean,
oh my God.
It's the other way around for me.
Yeah. It's like really hot here.
Yeah.
But that was my thing too. A few weeks ago, I was feeling the same way because it was so hot. And I was like, I don't want to go outside. But like my soul was like imploding sort of. And I was like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens to me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think documentary filmmaking and photography is so beautiful because, it's like a way to tell a story.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to like other cultures and, different groups of like ethnicities, I think it's so important and beautiful to see the everyday of like people we don't see every day. Exactly. Like whether I'm here or in New York, like I'm kind of seeing the same people all the time, which is sort of this like, like straight white kind of just going about their lives, working, etc. But then it's like you get to the like nitty gritty of like some of these conditions, especially when you look at like documentary photography for, wars and everything going on. Like those are so powerful, and it's a way for you to be able to kind of like evoke that caringness in the people looking at, like, I follow Nat Geo all the time. Like they're my favorite. I know. And so, and I just love that kind of photography. And as soon as I saw your page as well, I was just like, oh my God, these are like beautiful, like photos. Have you ever filmed like your family? How do they feel about it? I know sometimes, well, I guess you're, like you said, your dad and grandfather were photographers, but photographers don't always like being photographed.
No, I don't like being photographed, for example. I've never, it's really weird for me. But my family, I photographed them more. My dad passed in 2019. Okay. So then I think that's when I started going more into film photography. And then I started photographing more. I remember I used to see those photos and I was like, this is garbage. Yeah. But then I see them now and I understand the feeling behind them. And then, for example, I did a trip with my mom after my dad passed, and I took a lot of film photography. And when I saw them back, I was like, what is this? But then I had a teacher, and he told me, like, don't you see? Like, I can see perfectly what you're saying. And I was like, what am I saying? And then he showed me, like, a line, and it made so much sense to me. And it, like, made me realize that there's always something you're saying, even when you're not aware of it. Yeah. So I think photographing my family has also been obviously after my dad, and knowing I had all this archive of my family, I really want to photograph my friends and everyone. So I have that. I think this is like the cheesiest line ever of the photographers, but you're like capturing memories, Yeah. Like, I know my memory is very bad. Yeah. So I think that's also why I do photography, because then it's like, it's here.
You remember that in that physical form. Yeah. I grew up in a family where they just took so many photos. Yeah. Like my grandmother passed away in 2016, and then my mom also passed away in 2019. And, having to go through both of those women's boxes of photos was like a whole weekend between me and all my cousins, because it was like photo after photo after photo of all these people. And I loved it because it was like, they're like super old. They're like photos that were taken in like the 40s, you know, when my grandparents were getting married and stuff like that, or even in like the 60s when my mom was growing up. So they're all like very old, very vintage feeling. And it's all these people. And I love too that like my mom and my grandmother were so great about writing on the back.
Oh, that's amazing.
Where they're like, these are the people who are in this photo, and this is like the month and the year that this photo was taken. And so it's like, it's those memories and it's keeping people alive. And, you know, I know that in Mexican culture too, you guys have like the ofrenda where you put photos up too. So it's like, it's something that's sort of almost ingrained in your culture to like appreciate those images.
Yeah. So I think what you said that you found of your mom, for me, that would be like a gold chest, you know, like when you find from the pirates and just like, for me, that's so important. Like I love archive photography. I think they were documentary photographers because they documented a time. So for me, that's just like
where
gold.
there wasn't any internet. There wasn't really like photographers like there are now, you know, paparazzi, things like that. So it's so cool to see those moments and like be like, oh my God, look how young my grandfather looked. What a stud, you know? Exactly. Like I love those images.
And then you realize, for me, it was like very common to see those photos and to know that I had them. And like for you maybe as well. But then you talk to other people and they don't have that. Yeah. So then you understand, like for me, it was a gift from my family to have all that. I don't know. I've been working on some projects with my family photography because I don't want it to just stay there. Yeah. I wanted to, my grandfather took photos of when he left from Spain to Mexico after the war. So there's like this whole, there are documents of Mexico in the 40s as well, 50s. Yeah. And when they would travel with my dad when he was young. So for me, that's gold. Nice.
I think it's like, it's so cool, honestly. And that's why too, you know, my mom always gave me the digital cameras growing up because she was so used to having that. And so I also have like, I'm that girl that has like boxes of photos from like elementary school all the way until probably like middle school. I feel like once I got to high school, I didn't do it as much. I'm into sociology, but I'm also like very into genetics. I think it's like so crazy. And so my family's very large. And when my grandmother passed away, there was obviously this album she had, photos of her when she was super young. And I was like, this looks like my cousin Jenna, who is like one of her son's daughters, and my cousin Sydney, who is like the daughter of the son, you know, like, so it was separation of generations, but crazy. Like they both were just like, I would have, if I hadn't seen it in that, I would have been like, oh my God, this is Jenna, you know, or something like that. So it's just, I want that for my whoever, you know, like, especially when I think about like the fact that I don't want to have kids, like I still want some sort of piece of me in this world and images, and, you know, look back and have someone say, oh my God, what was she wearing? You know, exactly. Like, that's what I want.
That's another reason we met. I don't want kids either. So
I feel perfect.
The same way. So I feel the same way. Now that you say it, it's maybe there's a part of us that just wants to stay here and to show like here we are, like a statement of who we were and where we were doing. And
and I think too that's why like I also like the idea of the ofrenda. Like obviously I watched Coco. I actually just watched it again for probably like the 100th time the other day. My husband refuses because I made him, he tells me that he watched it when he was getting his hair done, and like he and like left before it ended. So there was like up to a point where he hadn't seen. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, you're about to get destroyed. And I've never seen him cry so hard. And now he's like, I will never watch Coco again. Like he's so upset.
Well, there's another one that I can recommend that it was at the same time as Coco. It's 100% Mexican. But then when Disney saw that they were going to release that, they made the release of Coco before. Wait, sorry. And it's called The Book of Life.
Oh, I have seen that one. Yes. I love that one too. I love that one. But no, I liked that idea because that's what made me think of it. Because I was just like, the idea of sort of like preserving that spirit of your ancestors is something that is so beautiful to me. And the fact, again, like I said, I'm very into photography and I appreciate those moments. So even the fact that it is represented by this photo, like I was just like, I'm not Mexican, but like, can I do this? Am I allowed to do this?
Can, of course.
You
We always, and I think I don't know other cultures, but Mexicans, we love to show off our culture and to tell people to do the same if you want. I think sometimes in the US, people are a little bit scared of doing stuff like
the
that.
Cultural appropriation of it. But then it's always like the argument too is like, if you're BIPOC, like, is it okay if you do it versus like if you're white and you do it, you know?
Exactly.
Like, it's like, what's the
There's
difference?
a difference.
Like, how do we do that?
Every year I do my ofrenda as well, my altar de muertos, and photographs are a big part of it. So photography is beautiful. Every time for me, it really is like therapy. Like every time I have my camera, my head just goes quiet, and I just enjoy it so much. Like so much. I do weddings as well, and I don't know. I 2 weeks ago I had one in Mallorca, and it was 12 hours of just like my head was just
like
off.
In the moment, capturing everything.
And everyone's like, 12 hours, that's a lot. And I'm like, for me, it's just so
if you
fast.
love it,
because I'm so into it. Like I really enjoy it so much, and I love meeting people and talking to different people and different stories and different backgrounds. And I think it's an amazing way to connect, to understand, to empathize, to learn different stories, to burst your little bubble of what you think life is. I enjoy it so much.
I love that. Photography seems like for some people such an untraditional path to take as a career. How did you sort of like make that decision, and really like, were you doing something before you decided like, I'm actually just going to do my photography business, or is it just always been photography?
No, before photography, I always wanted to work in the film industry.
Okay.
So I studied also here in Barcelona. Like I came here for Erasmus in 2014, then went back to Mexico, then came back 2017, I think, to study I think it's like a master's in art direction for cinema. And then when I finished that, I studied set construction for cinema.
Oh, cool.
Which I love as well.
That sounds fun.
I would have loved to stay on that path. But then after I finished that, I had to go back to Mexico because my dad was sick. And then, I don't know, I said, well, maybe I really enjoy photography. It's something that I've always done on the side, but never professionally. I had this idea that it couldn't be a career because it is complicated. It is difficult. Like that's a reality.
You have to really build like a client base, I'm sure.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's very, I'm trying now to sell more of my photography as art, and it's complicated. It is difficult. Like I really had, and I always want to say this because I think it's very important, that I had luck with my family supporting what I did and helping me. So I had like a good
foundation,
like a very good foundations to do what I really love to do, and what I knew in the beginning was gonna be very hard, and for a while it was very hard. Yeah. So I was very privileged in that sense. Okay. So, but cinema it's the other love of my life, which I still do because my husband is a cinematographer. Oh, so I do a lot of making of photography, which I enjoy as well. Yeah. So it was at first cinema and then photography. Okay. So it always have been a creative, which I love. Actually, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's funny because while I feel like deep in my soul I'm a creative, I've never like taken that path for like work-wise. And so that's why I'm like, well, maybe then this becomes like my hobby, you know? Because like I have so many ideas for like short mini scripts and stuff. Like I want to get a new like camera and start just taking photos of anything and everything. And like, I wish that I could add more of that creativity into my life. So I'm like, maybe this is also why we met. Yeah, exactly. You know, Kismet, as they say. So we talked about the darkroom side. Tell me about the microphone side. Well, for me, it was the darkroom. I work also a lot in darkroom for film photography and everything. And I think the microphone side was this, like being able to talk about what I do. Yeah. Because I think also as an artist, you have to sell yourself a little bit. And to talk to people about, because I always find it so hard to like show myself and my work, because I always think that people are, I always say like, maybe for me, it's like being naked. Yeah. But then I've also learned that art is not like that. Like in the end, the people that see your art, like maybe feel something towards it because of them, not because of you.
Yeah.
Like they finished the circle. So this is why I thought, the microphone, which is this, it's just a way to talk to more people. And
that's the great thing, because I was having a conversation earlier just about like, the art of like selling yourself and your brand, whatever that brand is, whether it's like a specific service or, whether it is you as a person, maybe you're a therapist or a life coach and all that good stuff. So I love the idea that you said like, I'm just trying to like tell my story. And it sounds like too, it's a lot of like ego, like deletion of ego kind of thing as an artist. It sounds like there's a little imposter syndrome that you feel, which I could definitely see too, because I think for me, maybe that's why I haven't really gotten into the creative side of it, because I already have imposter syndrome for like my regular day life. So I'm like, I don't need to bring this into my creative life too. But it is hard because as an artist, you have to kind of accept that the people who see and appreciate and understand, like those are the ones who matter.
Exactly.
Not the ones who are going to critique you and tell you that it's not good or, whatever it is. So it's great that you're like self-aware of that.
It's taken a lot of therapy as well.
I mean, therapy is the gift that keeps on giving.
It's crazy. It has literally changed my life. And also I realized that throughout my photography career, I've had a lot of teachers, mostly male teachers, which don't do photography, but are teachers, which is very important to say, which have told me, like, for example, I did some projects on my family archive and they were like, this is too personal. But then, so I left the project there and I was like, okay, this is not good. It's not a good project. But then throughout the years, I've learned, I just came back from the Rencontre d'Arles, which is a photography festival in France, like the biggest one in documentary photography. And then you see every story is personal. Like, what else are you going to talk about if it's not what you know? And the thing is that you realize that you're not as unique as you think. Like, that's what I think social media has shown us. Like, people have the same experiences, the same feelings, thoughts, and cares and worries. Like, you and I have a lot of the same, like, ideas, for example. So I think nothing is too personal. And I'm trying to get out of those, like, small voices that I have in my head of those teachers that have, like, I think dimmed my light a little bit. So I'm trying to not let them do that.
You gotta just like shove them down there and stomp them out.
And it's crazy what just one phrase so long ago just does to you. Like it just brings you down. It's horrible.
I always tell people my first PR job I ever had, I worked there for almost 3 years. And they didn't really there was one guy that works there. I always credit him for like my career as well. Shout out Kevin. He was great. He really, I came straight out of college and didn't really know, because I felt like what I learned in college didn't really prepare me for the job that I took college courses for. So he really helped me and kind of shaped me into the publicist that I am today and taught me how to do all these things. And the other people in the company didn't really utilize me or even take the time. And so I got fired from my first PR job and I was devastated. And, there was this woman, I won't say her name, but she was one of my other higher ups that had clients that she, sometimes filtered through to me, but she never I don't know why she didn't like me. I would like to say it's because I'm Black, but I would digress. Anyways, so I went into her office because I was leaving and I was like, this is a small world. While I'm upset that I am getting fired, I am still going to hold my head high and I'm going to go say goodbye and, thank her for what little she provided. And, I went in there and she just had this smirk on her face when I went in there. And, I think she was obviously very happy that I was getting fired. And, I was like, I appreciate everything you've taught me. Thank you, whatever. And she was like, well, I just think that, PR isn't for everybody. So maybe this isn't for you.
Wow.
And I looked at her and I was like, no, I don't think that's it. I just think this wasn't the company for me. And I left because I was like, how dare you?
To say that.
And so now that I have my own PR company and everything, it's always a fuck you to her.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to say to like those critics too. Because like you said, we do all have so many similar experiences, you know, like unfortunately there's a lot of people that like go through abuse or maybe like abandonment, or, you know, their parents were around or their parents were around and they were just fighting all the time or, you know, whatever it is. But being able to really pick that thing that's very personal to you to make you stand out and have you be different. Like that's what people want to see. They don't want to see you taking photos of the same influencer and the same, you know, mural with butterfly wings kind of deal. They want to see something like interesting and exciting and that makes them go, whoa, like, this is beautiful. Yeah. And that's what you don't let them get you.
No, I know. I think on that sense, I think people should be more mindful of what they say. Like, first of all, I don't think there's any excuse to be mean. Yeah. Ever. Like, I understand that some people are just, I don't know, maybe they just had a rough night or whatever, but I don't understand why people sometimes are mean. And things like this, like, for me, it was just this idea of seeing people like higher up from me. Yeah. Like, wow, they're amazing. They're such a huge photographer or curator or whatever. So when they say things like that, it's like, well, if he says that, then that must be true. Yeah. But then you meet more people. And the thing is that I think it's sad sometimes that we remember sometimes the bad things and not the people that say good things in the way. Yes. So I'm trying to remember more of those. And I've recently met more of those. Yeah. So I'm trying to always grow and with my work and with critique or whatever. Yeah. But never from, you're not good at this. I mean, I think everyone is, it's free to do whatever they want and keep your opinions to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you don't have anything nice to say,
don't say anything. Yeah, just shut up. I think that's so true. And I see that a lot of times just in like my work, you know, because again, like any job really, you always have that self-doubt. And so for me, it's like, you know, a client is upset with me and like for whatever reason, it's like, oh, I'm upset. This is why, da-da-da-da-da. And you're like, oh, fuck, like I fucked up. But then in the next breath, you know, like literally like 20 minutes later, you get an email from another client that's like, you're so amazing and I love you. And, you know, and you're like, oh,
I know.
That's nice.
I forgot.
Yeah, exactly. You forget for a second. And it's so important to like find those people that can kind of like remind you like, no, you're actually a badass.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Don't let anybody bring you down.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So we're both members here at Juno House. How did you find out about Juno?
I had a friend that has been here for a while, and she was part of the communications team here. And she invited me one day, and I was like, you know, like, oh, what is this? A women-only club is amazing. Yes. And then after that, I was like, I want to join. Yeah. And I've been here a year and 2 months, maybe. Okay. Yeah, something like that.
Nice. I love that. Yeah, I mean, I found this, I came in May last year. And so I was already thinking about moving here at the beginning of last year. And so my team and I had started reaching out to some like European-based PR firms to kind of like get our foot in the door, introduce ourselves and be like, if you have European clients that want to be in the US media, like let's partner together and like vice versa. And it panned out really well. And I met one of the members here and I also had the same like, I walked in and I was like, oh, this plate, the colors, the furniture. I was like, this is so great. Yeah. I love this. So I came back in October and did like a full tour and everything. And, you know, the wellness room was like amazing. And I've been wanting to get back into yoga for so long. And in New York, it's like, we lost Yoga to the People. I don't know if you've heard of it. No. It was this sort of like donation-based place for everyone. Yeah, you'd think it was great, but then it got into one of those weird moments where like the head of it was doing weird things. And
like a cult.
Yeah, kind of. It was a little weird. So I wasn't able to go anymore. And I was like, I'm not paying $30 for a yoga class.
For a class?
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. So I just kind of have been lazy.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I understand.
But it's like here, I'm like,
Yeah, it's so
walking
nice.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me go do yoga classes. Yeah. Like, I just love the vibe of like community and building like relationships.
Yeah.
And when I first got here in March, I ran into Casey Berglund. I don't know if you know her. She's a member here, and I actually ran into her in the stairwell, and we were just chatting. And she was like, you know, most of my like best friends are from here. And I was like, I could see that. Yeah. How do you like the community? How are you like building friendships?
Well, I have some friends that come here as well, which are
cool.
creative. Well, no, one is she's a psychologist.
Okay.
And another one is a creative as well. Well, both are creative, I mean, in their own ways, you know?
Yeah.
But I have to be honest, I haven't taken advantage of the community.
I haven't yet either.
I don't live that far away.
Okay.
I always find, well, it's the time of the day that I want to come. There's never bikes because I move by bike.
Okay.
So excuses. I mean, I could. But every time I come, like today that I came in, I was like, why don't I come more? Like, I really like it. It's like the cabin fever thing. After you're at your house, you forget the world outside.
Yeah, you're like, oh, there's people out there like, that can like fuel my creative energy.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
So today was a reminder of keep coming back and coming to the events, which are very nice. The Pilates classes are amazing.
Yes.
The instructor is amazing. So just, I think I need to come back more.
Yeah. I was like, I'm trying to give myself grace more often. So when we moved, our move was super hectic, and just like everything with housing was super hectic. Yeah. And so I was like, I'm going to just like ease into it. Yeah. So I started in March. May is when we did like our first sort of like presentation of us and the company. And I was like, okay, this is a good introduction. And then I thought in June I was going to start joining groups, but then June ended up getting crazy. So I was like, the bare minimum I can do is show up here to work and go to yoga classes. And then, you know, Marta and Carolina are like so great. And so I see them all the time, and they're like, when are you going to join stuff? And I'm like, I'm working on it.
The little tear, like, I know.
Yes. I'm like, And it's like, I've been saying this to people, like, I am such an extrovert in so many ways, but since moving here, I have become such an introvert.
I understand that.
And it's like, I'm really trying to like pull myself out of that. I'm like, how do I do this? Like, so the podcast was kind of a great way to kind of do that, because then it allowed me to, you know, like have so many conversations with so many different people and like slowly, because it's also like, I'm new, I'm American. I don't want to just, hey, you know, like here I am, America. So I was like, I think I want to just kind of ease into it and make these organic connections. And I do like using the Juno board. I feel like I'll post there more than I'll talk to people in person.
That's nice.
But, you know, I'm hoping to change it up soon.
But I mean, you just arrived here. Like for me, I've been here 3 years, and I'm slowly getting like every time more adapted to the city and everything. But it took a while. Like like starting over was complicated. So I would just say just take it like one step at a time. Because, it's not that easy. It's not easy moving. And then I understand if you have another language. I mean, you speak Spanish. Yeah. But then still it's way more different maybe for you. Yeah. It's a big move. Yeah.
It is. And it's also just the fact of like how exactly I can continue to use the language. Like in New York, surprisingly, I never really spoke Spanish, you know? So the only time I would use it is when I would come here.
Wow.
And then, you know, once I left and went back home, like I would still like talk to my dog in Spanish, you know, to just like keep working on it. And so it's a lot of brain power when you're not super used to it. And I, of course, like the hermit thing, being indoors all the time, you know, I'm home with my husband and him and I both speak English. So if I'm home with him for like 5 days straight, I'm just like not even thinking in Spanish. And then I go to walk outside and I'm like, I live in Spain. Like actually the language is Spanish. I need to like flip my brain now and like start speaking Spanish again. So I know it's going to get easier the more it comes, but that will also happen if I like get out of my house.
Of course. But that happens, like you said before, being an extrovert and then a little bit of an introvert. I feel that as well. Like for me, it's very easy to speak to people, to talk and to meet new people. But then sometimes I just don't want to see people. My social battery runs out fast, and then I just want to be at home. But then after being at home, I'm like,
I gotta go out, and then
you need to go out. Yeah, so it's like, what? I don't understand.
What's your sign?
Aries? I don't know.
Aries. Okay, Aries. Okay, I was like, I feel like there's a lot, but what am I? Like, no, I know that, but like, no, none. I'm an Aries rising. I'm Aries rising. That's why we I get along very well with Aries people.
Nice.
Do you believe in like any of the astrology stuff?
I don't really know anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aries is like a fire sign. Okay. So they're like very fiery, very like, that's all I know really. I'll have to phone a friend. And
Nice. Yeah.
But what are you working on like this year in terms of your photography and projects? You have any exhibitions coming up?
I'm working on an exhibition that I want to put on the dashboard as well in Juno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like I had an exhibition already lined up, but then the place I was going to do it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I have all the photos, so I'm just looking for somewhere to do it.
Okay.
And I worked earlier this year with an NGO in Tanzania, so I'm going back.
Oh.
Well, I still don't know for sure, but maybe I'm going back at the end of the year to continue. So it's a little bit about the school system and education for kids and ¿cómo se dice? Niños en adopción. Homeless kids.
Okay.
And their education and how it works in Tanzania. And then I'm also going in September to Cuba, where I don't do the workshop. I take the workshop, but I've been doing a workshop in photography for, I think, 4 years now.
Okay.
So then it's like I have like an ongoing project of Cuba, of Havana. And yeah, I think this project that I told you about my family, I did this in 2 years ago, studying here. But then I left it. Like I printed 100 books, and then I have them like in a box under my, like it was because of that comment that the teacher made. I was like, okay, this is not good. So I just left it there.
No.
So I want to revisit it and do, I'm trying to do.
You should put some of the books in the library here.
That's a good idea. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know they allow like a lot of the members to leave their books, and
I didn't know that. Yeah. See, I need to come more. I think I need to add like a little bit of an explanation to the book. I think so I need to revisit it and change a little bit of things. And I'm working also on my page doing things that you leave because I love taking photographs, but then the back end of everything.
Yeah, it's like uploading them and showcasing
it's
them.
Too much, and you need to do everything now and videos of yourself and reels. And I'm like, why? I just want to take photos.
I know. Yeah. Well, it's funny because when you were sending us your photos, I was like, these are the most photographer photos ever because every photo was like a camera in front of your face.
Like, which else photos I'm going to do, right? I don't know how to do anything else. And the other ones that I sent, the ones that were crooked, those were because I did a photo walk. Like I'm starting to do more photo walks here to meet new people in photography. And I did one with a hotel, and there was a photographer taking photos of me. So it was like a first.
Okay.
And then I was like, this is so exciting. I have like real photos, and I like them, which is also
they're cute.
Yeah, I really like them. So I was like, so those were the different ones, or else you'll see me always with the camera. In the mirror, and then
But I think that's so beautiful. Like I follow so many different photographers, and I always love when they do have the self-portraits because it is most times like with a camera, but that's also like who they are as people.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I would love to go on a photo walk, and maybe once I get my film camera, you'll let me photograph you.
I would love that. Yeah, for me that would be amazing. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah. Okay, that's what we're gonna do next time.
Yeah, I like it.
Where can everybody find you online? Check you out.
I'm on Instagram at mai.arrieta, which is ARRIETA. It's like an exam. And then with the same name, I'm in Behance, and I'm working on my page, but I'll have it in my Instagram as well.
Perfect. Love that. And of course, you guys can follow us at High On Feminism on Instagram. At Woke Media BK is our YouTube channel. And then, of course, check out the website, highonfeminism.com. Past seasons of the podcast, our High Talk series is there. We still have some vulva pipes available for purchase. Please check them out, as well as our stash tubes. I did bring them to Spain, so you'll have to pay for international shipping. Other than that, though, thank you so much again for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, guys. Ciao.